and welcome back to Red Gaming Tech for yet more of your daily gaming news and myself, Amata. Today is still the 10th of December and I have some rather interesting news regarding the Xbox One, as there is an unofficial mod floating around. This is of course a hardware mod that does allow the use of other controllers on the console, which does include the DualShock 4. Now, the Cronus Max is a USB device that can be plugged into the console controller port, and with the right settings enabled, will allow you to use a variety of different controllers on that system. Now, it's unclear what the ramifications are for users of the Xbox One who install an unofficial mod on their console. Microsoft does have a history of placing bans on users who interfere with their hardware. Now, the Cronus Max was previously compatible on Xbox 360, PS3 and PC, but a free update is scheduled for release in December, which should expand support to the Xbox One. And there was a video released alongside this, which I of course will link in the description to show off this new update. Now, when this update is released, we'll be seeing users able to play Xbox One games with an Xbox 360 controller, DualShock 3, DualShock 4, a Wii Remote or Wii U Pro controller, and will also enable support for a keyboard and mouse, which will arguably give players an advantage of FPS in FPS games, such as Call of Duty and Battlefield 4. Now, it will also give players the opportunity to mod their controller's functionality, which will basically allow you to store your own macros or button combinations to give them an advantage in games that's said to be 100% undetectable online. Now, the Cronus Max does not require the player to open up or modify their Xbox One, so it remains rather unclear if this affects the system warranty. But by convention, Microsoft, Sony and Nintendo are of course known to not approve of the use of unlicensed peripherals. So some rather interesting ideas. Now, while it's an interesting idea to mod the console in order to use the controller of choice, for example, you may just prefer the Xbox 360 controller or the DualShock 3 or DualShock 4 or whatever, or keyboard and mouse. My only concern is that the use of macros and the keyboard and mouse could be abused by some. Now, I don't mean in necessarily a bad way. The macros, of course, that kind of gives you a direct advantage as a set of key prompts is programmed into the device, whatever that device happens to be, and it will enact them. So that does give you a direct advantage, same as a keyboard and mouse and FPS. Now, of course, a keyboard is probably going to be emulating the controls of the controller, so it's not going to be as much as a, say, official peripheral or whatever, but you're still given the chance to use a mouse, which is the main advantage that keyboard and mouse has because of the precision of that mouse. Of course, if you don't have a gaming mouse, it's not going to be as precise, but still, a mouse is generally more precise than a controller stick in most cases, especially for FPS. So that's my only concern, that this may result in an unfair advantage for some, and that may see this device being perhaps, I don't want to use the word banned by Microsoft, but banned is the only word I can think of, but in all honesty, I don't really see how they can actually track this. But I don't know, it's a bit of an iffy issue. I'm all for the open source, I'm all for modding. I think that, people should feel free to be creative, especially since this whole developer kit business has been going on with the Xbox One. But when it gives some players an advantage over others just because they have this device and others don't, well, that kind of doesn't sit right with me, but hey-ho, there you go. Anyway, I would be curious to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think it would give an unfair advantage over other players? And would you even consider using such a device? Anyway, that is me done for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.